Hello, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today is the first look at this week's kit of the week, which is the Airfix Hawker Hurricane Mk.I in 1/48th scale. So today we're going to have a look at what's in the box. So if you're thinking of buying one of these, this is probably the best video for you. We'll see the parts, the instructions, the decal options, things like that. We'll come back another day for the build. So if you've already got one and want to know how to put it together, that's going to be the video for you. Or of course, you can watch the deluxe extended director's version on Thursdays, where we'll have the box opening and build reprise with the special bonus historical material. Or watch all three, why not? Now, if you enjoy the video, please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. You can do that by clicking on the small logo down there in the bottom right corner. If you'd like to support future productions, then you can do so through Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee. Links to both of those are below. There's also a link to the Airfix online shop if you want to buy one of these Hurricanes. If you go through that link, then Airfix does, at no extra cost to you, give us a few pennies, again, towards future productions. So that would be great. In any case, let's have a look at what we get inside the box of the Hawker Hurricane Mk.I. The kit I'm making this week was released in 2020 with new decals and box art. The original kit, on which it's based, was a new tooling in 2015, with aircraft in the colours of either 501 City of Gloucester Squadron or of 605 County of Warwick Squadron, both in the late summer of 1940. In 2016, it was re-released as a Mk.I tropical aircraft with the tropical air inlet filter. This time the colours are for either 274 Squadron in North American camouflage in 1941 or for the Rhodesian Air Training Group in aluminium dope all over, also in 1941. Then in 2017, this kit was released in the guise of a Sea Hurricane Mk.I-B, complete with all naval modifications. Markings were for either 804 Naval Air Squadron on HMS Eagle or 880 Naval Air Squadron on HMS Indomitable. Inside the box are 127 parts, not all of which will be used. The kit is rated at skill level 2, so easily achievable by anyone who's made a couple of kits before. The box comes with a token for 2 flying hours. Now, you can collect these as a member of the Airfix Club towards a free kit in the future, or you can donate them to Models for Heroes. A link to this excellent charity is in the information box below. There's some evocative box art depicting a hurricane at the height of the Battle of Britain. The box opens at the top. Inside we have the usual mix of things, a sheet of decals, which I'll come back to, the instruction leaflet, and a plastic bag containing the parts on a mix of 4 grey plastic and 1 transparent sprue. Looking at the sprues, there's this busy collection of smaller parts on one. There's the gun bridges, cockpit parts, spare panels and so on, as well as the pilots. The next has the upper wing surfaces with the floor and rear bulkhead of the cockpit. Then there's the lower wing surface and internal structure, plus some of the control surfaces. Finally, there's the fuselage and propeller options and tailplane. The transparent sprue contains the windshield and 2 canopies, one for open and one for closed. There's various lamp covers and the basic gun sight. Looking closely at the fuselage moulding, the panel lines are quite wide and deep, not exactly to scale by any means, but it will make life easier for the average modeller trying to detail them, possibly for the first time. Likewise, the prominent fasteners on the panels. The rear of the fuselage actually looks like fabric held taut over stringers. Some kits make the scalloping of the fabric far too pronounced. The cockpit walls leave some detailing to be desired, although the kit does come with the interior cockpit framing, which is excellent. Looking around the kit, you'll find interesting things like this lower rear fuselage section, obviously designed to take an arrestor hook in the Sea Hurricane, as well as the clean land version. There are two propeller options as well, the Rotol and the de Havilland versions. On the lower wing surface, again, the panel lines are pronounced. The shell ejection holes for the guns are moulded. The purists may want to cut these completely, but I do like the moulded lamp reflector seen here towards bottom left. The wheels have weighted flat spots with axles in register, so the tyres will sit correctly with the aircraft on its undercarriage. The covers on the gun bays are designed to be cut out if desired. The plastic is thinner under the panel lines to make the job easier. Loose panels are provided, so you don't have to use the ones you cut out. Onto the more general parts sprue again, and we can see there are two spinners used for the two types of propeller. This kit uses the flatter type. Also on the sprue is the arrestor hook for the Sea Hurricane. The instrument panel itself seems quite well moulded. We'll see how well the instrument decals match up with it later on. In another corner are the parts of the tropical air intake used by the 2016 North Africa reissue. The breeches of the 8 Browning .303-inch machine guns are here, and here are a couple of the spare panels if you want the gun bays open. We do have a 1/48th pilot figure that looks okay, about as good as you're likely to get at this scale in injected styrene. Notably, there's not an option for straps on the seat. You either have the pilot or you have an empty seat and make your own straps. A bit annoying when they have the option for the open gun ports, which implies the pilot's pretty unlikely to be sitting in the cockpit at the time. Then we have the instruction leaflet. As with all the Airfix manuals recently, this is very well drawn and seems fairly logical. The shading certainly helps visualise parts and their placement, and the orange spot colour highlights the completed previous steps, helping you to see the order of construction more clearly. There really are not too many times these days when I think they've got a build order dramatically wrong. The last 2 pages are the full colour scheme layouts. Scheme A depicts an aircraft of the famous 303 Polish Squadron of the Royal Air Force, based at RAF Northolt on the edge of London. The oddity is the red tail flash here, in place of the more usual pale blue band. It's also suggested that the tail flash contains the pre-war brighter blue colour. Camouflage is the standard Type A layout. Scheme B depicts the aircraft flown by Flight Lieutenant Ian Widge, Gleed of 87 Squadron RAF based at Exeter in Devon. Gleed is famous for having achieved ace status with 5 confirmed enemy kills in just 2 days on the 18th and 19th of May 1940. Depending on when the model is supposed to represent, the red of the roundels was brighter earlier and later repainted in the standard darker shade. The decal sheet is well laid out. The decals have very good colour and precise registration. The quality of the print is very high, with good sharp edges in all the text. The sheet follows the Airfix and cartograph practice of grouping relevant decals together. Up here at the top are the common decals: upper and lower wing roundels, gun port covers, gas detector patch, instrument panel, and the stencils. Being a Hurricane, there are thankfully not too many of those. In the middle are the decals for the 303 Squadron aircraft, serial V6665 and code RFJ. This has the pale blue tail fin flash, as I mentioned earlier, a smaller fuselage roundel and the red tail stripe. There is also a small Polish badge and black walkway strips for the wing roots. Then in the bottom and along the right side are the decals for the 87 Squadron aircraft. The fuselage roundels and letters are considerably bigger. It has the early tail flash, a red nose band and grey walkway strips. There are alternative red patches for all of the roundels and the fin flash in the lighter shade, and there's no serial number provided as this had been overpainted. That is the 2020 kit. Essentially, it's exactly the same plastic as all the previous releases since 2015, but with different decals and slightly different instructions. Given the price second hand of things like the Sea Hurricane kit, it makes sense to pick up one of these and then get some aftermarket decals. There we go then, a bit more detail than I was expecting, something we can exploit when we build it, and build it we shall in the next video. You can come back and watch that, and you can also maybe come back on a Thursday to see the combined box opening, build and historical material video that we release of the kit of the week. Do please remember to tune in also for Monday Matters and Figure Friday. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so through the little link there in the bottom right corner. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.